Thank you for watching this video. My name is Laurie Gambos, the founder and owner of Outback Motortek. Today I will be showing you how to install our standard version Pannier racks, which is exactly the same as the X-frames when it comes to mounting and the mounting points, on a Yamaha XT1200 Super 10R. So the hardware we're going to supply is right side and left side Pannier rack and cross brace. In terms of hardware, you will receive 4 hex head bolts, 10mm diameter. The length is about 80mm. So we got 4 of those, 4 6mm diameter bolt with nylock nut and washer, and 2 8mm diameter hex head bolt with Torx option, and 2 nylock nuts. Recommended tools I'll be using for the installation: 17mm socket, a ratchet, 10mm spanner or wrench. I'm going to be using a small ratchet with extension, T30 Torx, and a 10mm socket for the small ratchet. The installation itself is quite simple. You have to remove the passenger handles on both sides temporarily because you will be removing the OEM bolts from here, so they'll actually just come off automatically, but you'll have to place it back, line up the mounting holes, and then in one hand hold one of the long 10mm diameter bolts, and then pick up one side. I'm going to grab the right side Pannier rack and I'm going to line up the holes and insert the front. You can start with the rear, the front, doesn't matter. I'll start with the front. It goes in. I'm just using my hand to thread it in. No tools at this point. And then you can grab the second 10mm diameter bolt, feed it through here, and hand thread it in. And it will keep the Pannier rack in its place. Okay, one really important thing to make sure of is that the Pannier rack's front end mounting tab goes on the inside or the inner part of the passenger foot peg. So now when you have it there, grab the 8mm diameter bolt with the hex / Torx head, line up the mounting holes. If you have to gently push on it, do so, don't be afraid. That's why we recommend loose fitting. So you can move it a bit to easily line up the holes. I got it, I pushed the bolt through. Now I'm gonna grab the nylock nut, the corresponding 8mm M8 nylock knot, and just hand thread the knot on. And that's it. Let me show it to you. So this is what it looks like. It's on the inside, and this is quite simple. Here, this bolt's inserted, hand threaded in. Same back here. Now we're gonna go on the left side and repeat the very same thing. Okay, so I'm on the left side of the motorcycle. I have the left side Pannier rack in my hand, and I grab the passenger handle, put it in its place, holes line up. I'm gonna grab the Pannier rack and keep it tight against it by roughly lining up the mounting holes. I'm gonna grab one of the long bolts, feed it through. I'm gonna move it a bit to get the holes lined up. I'm gonna start hand threading it in, and when I feel that it's catching the thread, I can let it go, like right now, and move to the back Same thing. I've got the longer bolt in my hand, lining up the mounting holes and threading it in. It's really good. And that's it. Now it's actually in place. Yeah, this is looking good. Okay, so the top is fixed. Now I'm gonna grab the 8mm diameter bolt and the nylock nut. I'm gonna feed the bolt through the front to the back, lining up the mounting holes. Once again, if you do a nice loose fitting job, then lining up the mounting holes on the tabs. It's not gonna be too complicated. For me, this is a bit of an awkward angle, so I'm gonna go around. I can't see it well. Perfect. It's right there. Now, from the back, I'm just gonna put on the nut. Once again, no tools at this point are necessary. It's only when we have everything in place. Hand thread this on as long as you, when you start hitting the plastic ring in there, you can't do it anymore with your hand. So that's when you can start grabbing tools. For now, we're good. Left side, right side on. Let's move on to installing the cross brace. All right, now cross brace. So this is not symmetrical. You just have to make sure you put the shorter side on the side that's closer to the bike. In this case, it's actually the right side. So shorter side goes on right side, and this will be pointing down. Okay, and then the 6mm diameter bolts, washers, and nuts will go into their place. I'm gonna free them up. Okay, all right, so next, gonna mount the rear cross brace, which I'm gonna feed 2 bolts through here first, and then second, and I drop the nut, no problem. I'm gonna hand thread one of the nuts on, like so, and then the second one, like so. There's one thing I forgot. You shouldn't. I'm gonna have to go back. Is bolt, washer, and then the locking nut. So I've got these in. I'm gonna finish on the right side. Like so. And on this side, I'm gonna remove the locking nut, put the washer on. And then up top as well. And that's it. So it's actually being installed, but not tightened and torqued. And that's the final step for me. And I will do so. So back here, the cross brace, I'm gonna tighten it. I'm gonna use a 10mm wrench and a 10mm socket and ratchet. Make sure it's in the right direction. I'm not gonna torque it, I'm just gonna keep it fairly tight, just to break that plastic ring. And then over here, Okay. I'll move on to the top bolts using the 17mm socket and wrench, ratchet. It's just tight, not torqued. Same here. I'm just gonna go at it gently. Always make sure that it's not cross-threaded. If it's cross-threaded, you're gonna feel a lot of tension on the bolt. But for me, it's going in very smoothly. So, this is good. No torquing yet. Now, to tighten this part on the 8mm, the M8 nylock knot, you actually need a 13mm wrench. I did forget to mention it. On the bolt, you can use the T30 Torx or a 10mm socket. Like so. Same thing on the other side. So it's all done. I've finished torquing, tightening all the bolts and nuts, and I believe it's a very simple installation. And this is going to be the final look. No more rattling. Everything is nice and snug. Now, when you finish the installation, do check the bolts and nuts once again after going out for a test ride. And then, thank you so much for watching the video. And if you have any questions, please do ask.